Caleb Wilson returns back to the ATL, baby, and has a monster game, including some just ridiculous ESPN highlight dunks, man. And then Henri Veesaar also balled out, just completely getting back to his normal form after that really not so good Virginia game. Shout out to Seth Trimble and Luka Bogovac as well. Huddle up.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ the Tar Heel, and welcome to the men's department of Carolina basketball, baby. And in this huddle, man, we're going to recap the North Carolina-Georgia Tech game, man. Carolina gets the 91-75 W, man. They moved to 17-4 on the season, 5-3 in the Atlantic Coast Conference, man, and they get a really good W on the road. And that actually makes two games back-to-back where Carolina gets a road win at a place that has not been very kind to them here as of late, especially this century, man. They got a really big comeback win in Charlottesville last week, and then Carolina, for the most part, was in complete control of this game, against Georgia Tech down there in Atlanta. And it really was a great thing to see Caleb Wilson come down there and absolutely ball out, man. He plays 30 minutes, 22 points, 9 of 15 from the field, perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line, which shout out to the Tar Heels, man, 11 of 12 from the charity stripe, 92%. Got to be their best mark of the season. Caleb finishes with 6 rebounds, 5 assists, only 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block, man. Just had a really good game from C-Dub, man. And then, like I said, Henri Veesaar really stormed back. That was kind of the guy that I really, really wanted to see in this one. What did Henri Veesaar do after probably his worst outing? Not probably, it was his worst outing as a North Carolina Tar Heel. Well, he gets a double-double, 20 points, 12 assists, 8 of 15 from the floor. He had 1 assist, no turnovers, 2 steals, and especially in the first half, man, he was a menace out there in the paint, dude, 4 blocks, which one of my knocks on Henri was just like how big he is and how he hasn't really been that guy down there in the paint, man, to kind of make it a no-fly zone. Well, he did a much better job in this one, man, and I cannot say enough about Henri Veesaar's bounce-back performance, because you can tell a lot about a man, by the way that he bounces back. Right? You can't just necessarily see somebody, maybe not perform and then make a conclusion from that. You're going to learn a lot about that individual by the next game and the game after that, and so on, man. And Henri was comfortable in this one. He was strong with the ball, and a salute to Henri Veesaar for bouncing back in a really good fashion, man. 42 total points, once again, from your starting power forward and your starting 5. And, for the most part, dude, they had a really dadgum good game, once again, as the best duo in the country. Derek Dixon got the start at the point. He's in control. He's in control of the game, finishes with 5 points, only 1 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Once again, we're still not getting consistent good point guard play as far as scoring-wise. But Derek Dixon he's confident. He's comfortable, and you got to respect that. He kind of orchestrated the ball very well, as a good facilitator, finished with 3 assists, 1 turnover, also had a steal. Seth Trimble, man, another guy that was in double figures, 18 points, 8 of 14 from the field. Seth had a bunch of really good and ones, man. Finished strong around the rim today. Just had a lot of circus shots, if you will, man, that really went in. And Seth's 18 were really big. We've talked a lot about, who was going to be that consistent third scorer. For the most part, it's kind of been Seth, but it hasn't been as of late. So it was good to see Seth come out with a good ball game, 30 minutes, 18 points. And then Luka finishes with 16 himself, man, pretty efficiently too. 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point line. And Luka, it really seems like for the most part, he's starting to kind of, understand the American game, and he's playing a little bit more within himself. So I've told everybody that I like it better when Luka's going straight up and down, when he's able to set his feet, square his body to the basket, go straight up, and shoot the ball, man. And when he does that, he's just more in control. And I think that's his game. And we've seen him kind of, just stay in his comfort zone, if you will. And it's been good to see Luka play a really good game like this. He had 3 assists, no turnovers, also had a daggum steal, man. So there's kind of your 4 that really, really, really impacted this game. Jaren also had 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 6 boards. Carolina finishes the game 46% from the field. Not their best offensive showing, even though they scored 91 points, which was 3 of the last 5 games Carolina's offense has scored 90 points. But they only shot 26% from 3, 8 of 31, and that was kind of the cause of concern. A lot of people were concerned with how many 3-pointers that Carolina was jacking up. Now, in the first half, I didn't necessarily have a problem with it because they were working the ball down into the post, and they were double teaming Caleb. They were kind of doing that a little bit against Henri as well, man, but the double team against Caleb is what enabled Carolina to relocate, put the ball back out to the perimeter, and then they were to swing it around and get some good looks from beyond the arc, man. And Carolina was able to hit a couple at the beginning, but they really did go cold for the duration, for long stretches of the game. So, the problem is that, Derek didn't have a good shooting night tonight. Kyan Evans continues to struggle from deep, man. It just doesn't look good out of his hands. 1 of 6 from 3. And they're getting good looks, though. And we got to keep these guys, slinging it from the outside. I know it's uncomfortable. I know that it's like, hey, they're not hitting them, but they're going to have to hit them if we're going to have any kind of success, because teams are going to continue to double down on Caleb Wilson and Henri Veesaar down there in the paint, bro, especially if we can't hit open threes. So these are Division I athletes. They've just got to have to shoot themselves out of this slump, dude, if Carolina's going to reach their max potential. That's my personal opinion, because we know what we got at the 4 and the 5. That's why teams are packing it in. That is why teams are packing it in. So you have got to continue to relocate, get open looks, man, and try to get these guys to feel good from beyond the arc with these open shots. And they got to stink and make them, bro. You got to make them. You got to make them just pure and simple. Like I said, not the best shooting night from beyond the arc for Carolina. Georgia Tech was 45% from the field as well, 54% from 3, 7 of 13. Kraft had a pretty good game out there shooting the ball, and Carolina was only once again +1 on the glass, man. Finished the first half with 25 rebounds, only 14 in the second half. That's once again cause for concern because they did not reach their average rebounding wise for the season, and that number continues to trickle down. Did a really good job on the glass in the first half. The defense just wasn't good enough in the second half because Georgia Tech was making a pretty good amount of their baskets. So I do have to stink and say shout out in the sense that Carolina had 21 assists to only 2 turnovers. That is a really good job of facilitating the basketball and a really good job of protecting the basketball. And there haven't been many games where Carolina didn't out-turnover their opponents. So that was a great thing to see as well. Carolina had 10 steals to only 1 for Georgia Tech, 5 blocks to 4 in favor of Carolina over Tech. And then they were able to outscore them in the post, 44-32. Another big statistic here is the 18 points off of the turnovers. Georgia Tech had 0. So Carolina did a pretty good job of protecting the basketball. They did a pretty good job of sharing the basketball, and they did a very good job of working it down to the 4 and 5, who were able to both be in double figures once again, man. So this is a really good victory for Carolina. It's not as big as I wanted it to be. I think I told you guys maybe a 10 to 15 point victory, and that's kind of what it ended up being. Carolina once again just doesn't seem to have the 4th and 5th gear to just balloon it out. But I do believe that we're playing better basketball here as of late, man. And we got one more game before the big one in Chapel Hill next Saturday against the Dukies. We got the Syracuse Orange visiting the Dean Dome on Monday, man. So let me know what you guys think about this game down in the comments section, baby. It's a good win. It's a good win, plain and simple, man. Just being on the road in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And I'll take it all stinking day and twice on Sunday. So like I said, man, let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. If you haven't already, baby, like, share, and subscribe to the daggum channel. It is a great day to be a Tar Heel. Go to hell, Duke. Go to hell, State. And we'll catch you on the next one, baby. Go Heels.